What is up, Nuggets? It's your boy, Killer Pizza, here with a brand new video for you rascals and rapscallions out there. Now, today we're going to talk about a pretty fun movie that was suggested to me in a comment at my favorite videos to watch during Halloween video I just put out last weekend. Anthony12345B told me I should check out Tales of Halloween, get the Blu-ray. Plot twist, I've had it for years and have never watched it. But 2 nights ago, I threw this on, and it was a lot of fun. Anybody that's been following my channel for a minute now knows I absolutely love horror anthologies. And this one was pretty fun with 10 different tales in this horror anthology. So for about an hour and 40-minute runtime, these stories went for 10-15 minutes tops. So pretty fun, pretty easy to follow through with. And yeah, honestly, I'm really glad I finally got to watch this movie. This is like a newer horror movie that I picked up. It's funny because this came out in 2015. Crazy to think that was 7 years ago, but I still consider like anything year 2000 and on kind of like newer horror in a sense. You guys know what I mean in retrospect compared to like Hammer films or like 70s, 80s, or even 90s horror films. There is a big difference. Like practical effects stopped getting used at that point a lot. For the most part, I can't say they got done getting used because there was some good practical effects in this film right here. But sometimes you get a pretty good gem like this that's kind of a throwback to the old days, you know. Who doesn't like a good horror anthology? You know, Creepshow 1 and 2 being like the two most notable, or Tales from the Dark Side. I absolutely love this shit. Now, this movie was a lot of fun, a lot of really cool stories. I liked where they started off with this. Like I said, these are the 10 little stories, if you can see those. Not every one of these were really good, if I'm being quite honest, but I would say a good 75% of these, there's probably, well, I guess that would be about 75%, 2 or 3 that I didn't really like. But for the most part, these were really fun. It gave a really campy Halloween feel. And the interesting thing about this film, too, was that all 10, like, mini segments or whatever were directed by different people, which isn't uncommon, but the fact that this isn't really labeled with like one director. It's like the 10 different directors, then like somebody that put it together. I'm trying to see what like how they label it on here. Well, I guess they do have a director. The print's so small. Right there, motherfucker. But okay, so I'm wrong, but I don't know. I heard somebody tell me this was better than Trick or Treat, which that is not true. Not to take anything away from this film, but what Trick or Treat did really well was it intertwined all the stories so well, like it was meant to be that way. Now, there's certain things in this film that intertwine everything, like it takes place in the same town, which is pretty fun. Like during the final act, the final story, a cop is involved, and they're at the police station, kind of talking about all the crimes. Like, can you believe it? This every Halloween, this fucking town goes crazy, which that was pretty fun. And then maybe like a scene where there was like some trick-or-treaters where some of these kids that were in the previous shorts or whatever were in there later. But other than that, not much of this connects in the way like of Trick-or-Treat. But it's kind of hard when you're comparing this to Trick-or-Treat because that's one of the best horror movies probably of all time, honestly. If I'm going to be honest, people are going to hate me for that too, but yeah, Tales of Halloween. I appreciate the suggestion because this was really cool. I enjoyed this. I always look at the runtime and I'm like, an hour and 41 minutes. Isn't it weird how like it could be an hour and 30 or lower and you're like, all right, 90 minutes. But if it's like 5 minutes over, it's like over an hour and a half, over 90 minutes. But yeah, the stories I liked the most, Sweet Tooth was the first story. I liked how it kind of like opened the movie with like the kid eating the candy. And it just was like, had that folklore appeal to it where the kid's eating the candy and he's being babysat and the girl's boyfriend tells him a scary story, you better stop eating all this candy or Sweet Tooth is going to get you, which it leads into like a story of this kid that went trick-or-treating and his parents didn't let him eat the candy. He woke up one night, just like when you would go downstairs, like Silent Night, Deadly Night, you see Santa Claus down there. He's seen his parents like eating all his candy. That's why. And they were having like this weird like candy orgy, which was strange. And the kid ends up killing his parents, eating all the candy out of their guts, which was pretty fucking cool. And the kid that catches his parents later on after or in the story, does the same fucking thing when his parents come home. They ate all the candy, so that one was pretty good. I also liked, uh, well, the final one with the bad seed, which was like a killer jack o' lantern. That was pretty fun. Now, which one was this? Trick, I think it was. I enjoyed the one with the four like middle-aged adults like passing out candy. The one guy's ripping the bong the whole time, which was funny. And the guy goes to the door. He answers. He asks the girl, trick or treat, trick or treat. And he's kind of buzzed up, drinking his rum. And she says, trick, and stabs him in the gut. And it turns into like this, like Children of the Corn kind of scenario, but like in a modern way, which was pretty cool. There's like a death with the woman getting stabbed and falling into the pool, which you see like through the sliding glass door with no sound from the perspective of people inside. And this one in particular, I think it was Trick. I believe that's the one. I don't want to get it wrong. This had one of the best like single shot scenes I've seen in a really long time. It went all the way from like the original guy getting stabbed to his two friends like call 911 to his girl like running out through the sliding glass door, out the window, over and around the pool, over the fence to her car, then back in. This was something really impressive. Like I like the little things you'll notice like that because just like wrestling, you know, I'm a pro wrestler, as you guys know. Like, the fundamentals are important. Sometimes you have to know a little more to recognize, like, the stuff that might not be, like, is poppy or attention grabbing that, you know, a casual fan might recognize. But for a guy who watches a lot of horror movies, I really appreciated that. And something like subconsciously, if you watch it and don't recognize that, it's still going to be like in the back of your mind, like, that was good, you know, and there's a reason for that. There's a reason why certain films are good and certain films are shitty. And there are some pretty shitty skits in here. Probably, like I said, two or three. There's one, like, a lot of people really liked, like, this gang mentality one with this girl and these two thugs chasing this guy down and had, like, this cool twist at the end. Because I watched, like, a couple YouTube videos before I recorded this, and a lot of people liked that. But I thought that shit was corny and cheesy. The second one, what was fun in theory with this kid like going to egg this guy's house that doesn't pass out candy, and turns out he's like the devil. Good practical effects, but he's like, I'm gonna give you a night that you'll never forget on Halloween. And I just don't like that level of slapstick in my horror. I guess the payoff for that particular little skit or whatever was pretty good. I'll give it that. But and another one was pretty fun with like these two guys fighting over like the Halloween decorations. This one guy's been doing it for years, having the trick or treaters come up, and the guy across the street, bunch of like metalheads, like his shit's like store bought, like corporate, and they kind of have a clash in like the decorations because the one guy's playing his music too loud, disrupting from like the other guy, the older guy, passing out candy. The battles of tradition. They get in this big all-out brawl, like Step Brothers. You know, he teabagged his drum set apparently, and they have a pretty cool death there. Fun movie. CGI wasn't too bad. As we know, we hate CGI in this channel. A lot of really good practical effects. I think CGI was used when it needed to be. I think, though some of these monsters and some of these little segments or skits look kind of corny, some of them looked really good, and I appreciate the how they leveled out each one from another, you know, like they all kind of synced, but you know, some were creature features, whether I like the monsters or not, which were fun. Others were just like based more on reality, and then some were just absolutely out there. I would say they don't all balance out as in it's like one full movie. I think that's where I differ from like comparing this to Trick or Treat, but at the same time, I appreciate that you get a little bit of everything for everyone, and especially as like an old school horror fan, this is one from 2015, 7 years ago, that holds up for like a nostalgia feel, which the scenery and everything isn't really nostalgic, but it's more of like the way the story's told in certain segments. There's something in here that everyone will like. I can't suggest horror anthologies enough to people because if for nothing else, with today's attention span, you don't have to pay attention like fully the whole time. You can play your phone or do whatever the fuck you're gonna do and look up and watch the movie. Hopefully just watch the movie because it was pretty fucking cool. Or more importantly, like have friends over. This would be a good one where you don't have to like understand every plot. Like you ever just be tired and you don't want to watch a certain movie that you have to know every single detail to. It's like I can't keep up. sometimes I just want to throw in some bullshit like this or Flesh Eater and just laugh my ass off because it's fun. And or fucking Street Trash like I just reviewed. But yeah, this one has a little more charm to it. Arguably, I'm surprised I'm saying that than Street Trash, because Street Trash does have quite a bit of charm. But anyways, yeah, this was really fun. I suggest this to anyone. I believe this is free on Tubi right now. So what are you waiting for? And if I'm wrong, fuck you. I don't care. I don't care. I don't know. Ah, damn it, guys. Yeah, this one was fun. Thank you, Antony12345B. If I'm pronouncing that wrong, correct me, call me a dumbass, whatever. But thanks for suggesting this to me. I had to watch it. You said, pick up the Blu-ray. I thought, oh, my friend, I already own it. And to be fair with this, too, I wish I could see more backstory. This is one of the most bare-bone Blu-rays I could get, honestly. I think this... I don't know if this is the only release, but... Damn it, I hate when you get a Blu-ray and it's just the theatrical trailer and like outtakes or commercial spots. Like, we want some meat on the bones, you guys, when it comes to these horror releases. You know, if they're selling vinyls again in stores like Walmart, there's always going to be a niche for Blu-rays. And the biggest niche for Blu-rays is the horror community. So give us better releases. I'm looking at you, Vinegar Syndrome. But either way, let me know what you guys are watching in the comments below. Let me know if you've seen this. If you have a favorite skit out of this whole Blu-ray. I'm sure I'm forgetting one. I'm forgetting many. I wanted to go over every one of these, but fuck it. Either way, check this out. I think this was really cool, really groovy, guys. Yeah, I think you'll have a lot of fun with this. Anyways, like, comment, subscribe, blah, 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 all that boring ass shit. Other than that, guys, Blood Gut Score. I'll check you next time.